Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Shalom, family. Good to see everyone here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to get into talking about the Daily Wire. And if you haven't heard, the Daily Wire has really sunk into the abyss where it really truly belongs. So, Ben Shapiro and the staff over there, they start cutting and laying off people because they literally lost 80% of their audience. So at one point in time, they were booming out here. It seemed like all these white hate channels always seem to boom, at least for a while. But one thing about hate, eventually people will start falling off. It doesn't last. You really can't hold an audience forever with hate, because it's somewhere along the line, people will get tired, because one thing about it, y'all just beat a dead horse. And how many ways can you talk about how much you don't like Black people? I mean, seriously, how many ways can you do that, eh, you know, for a long period of time? It gets redundant. You really don't have nothing new to say. It's the same rhetoric over and over and over. So eventually, yeah, people are going to walk away because it's uninteresting after a while. So, Candace Owens, who got kicked out of there back in, what was that, 2024, somewhere around there. And, of course, she's gloating. And I can understand why, but Candace, you're still not invited back, to the community. You stay on the outside looking in. So we're going to listen to what people are saying. A lot of people are pretty much laughing at the Daily Wire and speak about what they represented. At the end of the day, there's always an expiration date for all of you haters out here. There's always an expiration date. When Charlie Kirk kicked the bucket, they were talking about, what's that little Mexican dude? I can't even think of his name. Well, y'all know who I'm talking about. They were talking about he was going to rise. Fuentes. I said, that dude ain't going to rise but so far. One thing about them, they got a certain kind of audience. They do not pull in people from everywhere. They really just have a certain demographic as their audience. And those people come and go. They really do. It's not a consistent audience. They come and go. So anyway, not that any of these folks are important. They're certainly not important to me. I don't care. I could care less if the Daily Wire kicked the bucket. I was never your audience in the first place. I say good riddance to a bunch of dead ass assholes that have nothing to say but the tired old rhetoric about what they don't like about Black people. Who the hell cares? Number one, in order for you to be significant, you would have to be important, and none of you are. That's why it's so easy for y'all to fall in a quick way. Look at Elon. As soon as he started going in with Donald Trump with his hateful racist ass, look at how fast he fell. People stopped buying Teslas. See, when y'all be on that hate, it always comes back to haunt you. So the Daily Wire is just one of many victims. You get consumed by the hatred. And they're just one of many victims that we have seen along the way. So, what's one more that kicks the bucket as far as I'm concerned? So, let me share my screen. Y'all give me a one if you can see my screen. Yeah, they all do it. They try to thrive on hate, and that can only get you so far. It always turns out, and it always implodes on them, y'all. They just don't get it. Thank you for the ones.
It all made sense when phone calls started coming in, emails started coming in regarding the Daily Wire layoffs, which began, I am told, on Thursday, actually, continued through Friday. There's some indication they may actually be continuing through today. And it was an absolute bloodbath. Do not allow them to spin it. Okay. I'm talking entire departments, big people at the firm, lawyers at the firm, the chief operating officer, the executive vice president. Virtually the entire marketing department, the production team has now been reduced to a mere skeleton crew. No one was safe. Not even Ben's team was safe, marked safe from it. Even a director on his team was fired. It was brutal. I have counted approximately 54 people who lost their jobs from top to bottom. And that's just in this wave, because this has been going on, as we all know, for a while. The writing has been on the wall for a while. It has been very strange, the worst kept secret in media, as they keep writing, having people publish these articles that just defy reality. We were having private conversations like, how long can they keep up this charade and keep pretending that this is not happening when everyone can see the numbers? We can see how the public is responding. It's very strange to just sort of live in a delusion. We knew that they had brought in private equity sometime ago in the last 2 years. I used to work in private equity in these particular types of situations, so I knew what the implications were of bringing in private equity. Especially if it's a distressed debt situation, the usual term, as it was at the company that I worked at many moons ago, is 2 years. They'll inject cash into your company. They'll float you for about 2 years as you attempt to turn things around. You fire some people, you restructure a little bit, but you're kind of walking the plank, right? Maybe you fix it, but if you don't, they're gonna sell that company, and they're gonna own a huge chunk of that company that they sell. Now, I can't assert that that is definitively what the deal terms were for the Daily Wire, but I can say that we're just about now over 2 years, just over 2 years removed from my firing, and the Daily Wire has obviously not turned the company around.
Y'all, Candace is full of shit. Now, she's been on this anti Zionist Israel thing. And I want y'all to think about this. Every organization that Candace worked with and she talked bad about the Black community were owned by those same Zionists. She had no problem taking their money and trashing us. Now she's talking bad about them and dragging them every chance she can get. That's all the more reason why I will never, ever, ever, ever trust Candace Owens. See, those folks were fine as long as they were filling her pocket. And I was reading Candace was making 10 million a year trashing us. She did it for money. So she sold her soul to the devil until the devil got tired of her and discarded her. This is why I will never, ever, ever, ever feel bad for Candace Owens. She is so full of shit. I don't care. You made deals with the devil. That's why you will never be embraced by the community ever again. All right, y'all, let's continue.
Ouch. Now, I know nobody can figure out, why is this happening? Why is the Daily Wire completely dead? Why is it most likely going to go bankrupt? Why is nobody watching Ben Shapiro or anyone at the Daily Wire anymore? I mean, it's such an incredible outlet of journalism that's hard-hitting facts, never leaning into forced bullshit, paid propaganda by a foreign country or anything like that. Again, it's so bizarre, but I've got the numbers for you in this video, so that's what we're going to talk about. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Helps the channel. Follow us on Patreon. Grab some America First, America Only merch. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about it. And first, let's look at the story, and then we'll try to figure out together why this may have happened. And yes, as we see here, America First patriot Ben Shapiro, again, struggling out here. As it says, the Daily Wire just fired half of its staff in mass layoffs. This comes after Ben Shapiro has lost 85% of his YouTube audience since last year. All right, and the reporting says Ben Shapiro's right-wing media.
We have massive news for Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire. The company has massive layoffs. Candace Owens dancing on the grave. And what's this all about? Well, 85% of their YouTube viewers have simply vanished. Is that because of his support of the war, the very unpopular war? Is it because he refuses to acknowledge a genocide in Gaza? Or is it just because the youth is unhappy with the direction of the political climate? I'm going to get to what Candace Owens has for her accusations against her former boss, Ben Shapiro, in a second. But here it is. The Daily Wire reportedly lays off half its staff. Cut around half of its staff in a major round of layoffs across the company. The move comes as co-founder Ben Shapiro is claimed to have lost up to 85% of his YouTube audience over the past year. Now, we talked about this a few months ago, this idea that he may have been buying views, which again should be, I would think, illegal, considering your advertisers are paying you a certain amount of money in return for,
Well, I'm not surprised about that. They violate YouTube every day, and YouTube looks the other way. But they'll come for somebody like me or other melanated YouTubers that do far less. So what? You don't like somebody's views. Oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's what you focus on. But the Ben Shapiros that are out here saying disparaging things, y'all don't do nothing to them. But this is happening to the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro because the time of the Gentiles is over. Your voice is no longer a necessity out here. See, this is more proof that their time is up. See, they were flying high for a long, long time. Their time is up. That's why these things are happening to them. The curses are here. The curses are real, and the Most High's will must be carried out.
Authentic views. So if you're buying views from some bot farm, that doesn't really help anybody out now, does it? So again, the PR not looking good. Half the staff gone. Candace Owens says those views are 100% purchases. He's been buying views for his main show, and you can tell by the comment ratio and the fact that I know the person who bought ads per view at Daily Wire. I was wondering how long it was going to take for the bubble to burst. Folks have wondered, how could Candace Owens be making the claim that these are artificial views? It's really easy to see. There are plenty of videos that they post that have normal comment to view ratio, and then there's some that are just silly. She said, the question I've been wondering is, how is it not advertising fraud to do so, assuming you sell ad spots based on views? I suppose they can include a tricky legal clause, something they are known for, which indicates that they might promote the show via advertisement. Look, I know this sounds very much like insider baseball, like, oh, it's just petty Candace versus Ben Shapiro. Now, is it petty for Candace? Yeah, I mean, this is her former boss. She's absolutely going to dance on his grave. He still owns the intellectual property, the Candace Owens show. He was creating like fake Candace content where they make fun of her. I mean, talk about falling tone deaf. People were just like, what is this? Like, get your own thing. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people like Candace now because everyone's had that boss that you just wish the worst for them. And I'm not saying that, like, I don't care about Ben Shapiro at all. You know, I wish him well in life. But the fact that he's so smug and thinks he's on the right side of history, his audience is just showing him otherwise.
The Daily Wire has just fired half of their staff in a mass layoff. And they're doing this as co-founder Ben Shapiro has lost about 85% of his viewership. I used to pray for days like this. And it makes me think, what are they going to do about that movie with Jonathan Majors and all their other little side projects? I can't wait till they have to shutter their doors, just like Alex Jones and InfoWars.
Hey guys, so I guess you've seen what's going on at the Daily Wire. This dude destroyed his entire company trying to go after Candace Owens and a few more people. And it's been a total disaster for Ben Shapiro because Americans started realizing that Ben Shapiro is not America first. He's not America at all, right? And his ego and his self-destructiveness is what actually destroyed him. Because while he's there beefing over the things that hurt his little feelings, the other people are talking about things of substance. They're talking about things that affects the American people. And he continuously supports things that doesn't benefit the American people, right? He's falling. Alex Jones is falling. Turning Point is falling. Like, it's just a matter of time before a whole bunch of these people who are on that MAGA cult train falls, because people are going to recognize that they were all grifters.
Again, this is all a sign. Turning Point USA. I knew, and I said on a live stream, without Charlie Kirk, Turning Point was never gonna last. And look how fast Erica Kirk is taking it down because of her weird mannerisms and her weird behavior and the weird way she speaks. They lost a lot of people. I was reading about that maybe 2 weeks ago. A lot of people have walked away from Turning Point USA, right? And Daily Wire, Candace Owens, their time is done. This is all judgment. Their time is done. Alex Jones, yeah, he signed off last week. He did his final show on InfoWars last week. See, all of them that had a problem with us, look how fast they are going down, y'all. Their time is done. And they don't realize that they spent their existence trying to shut our voices down. Now their voices are getting shut down. Just look at what's happening. Their voices are getting shut down. So, yay, you built your platform off of hating us. And the Most High is here to let you know you're done. Your time is over. You will not dominate the airwaves anymore. That is becoming, and look at what's happening with Donald Trump and Iran. Iran is winning the PR war on social media. Every day when I come on, they're still posting new Lego videos, and people all over the internet are taking those videos and showing it. So YouTube thought if they took down that Mr. Explosive channel, that would just kind of I knew that wasn't going to end it, because those videos have now become real popular, and nothing America puts out can match it. If you notice, those videos that Donald Trump put out, first of all, those videos are horrible. They're lame. and nobody's watching the videos, but they are in big numbers watching the Lego videos. So Donald Trump and his racist ass is losing the PR war. Iran is definitely winning. But like I said, these are all indicators that your time is up. Your time is up, and your voices don't carry the same weight it used to carry years ago. Y'all don't have that same, notoriety online. People are fighting back now. When you see them putting out anti-black videos, they get piled on by social media. They get piled on. Look at Ashley Gonzalez. Look at what happened to her. See, when y'all do stuff like that, you now get piled on. You lose your jobs. Then you got to come and tuck your tail between your legs trying to apologize, and you're sorry for. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear it. But like I said, y'all, look at this all as their time being up.
And I'm not saying that Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly are not grifters, but they saw the change and they made the move. So whether they're grifters or not, they're making the right moves. And people can respect that they're calling the president's bullshit, right? Because the president will sit there and lie to us, telling us about how good we're doing and telling us to suck up the gas prices and the grocery prices because it will get better. We got used to this now. He'd been talking like this since his first term. Since his first term, he keep telling us 2 weeks until we get his insurance plan. And what did we get? He removed $2 trillion from healthcare. So people are not just going to die on the battlefield. Americans are going to die at home, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene left, and several others. And a lot more are planning to leave because they realized that a lot of them got elected with Trump, and those who were there before him supported him so much that even if they tried to get reelected, they will not, right? Everyone who followed Trump, even from his first administration, should have realized that Trump have no loyalty. From Rudy Giuliani to that military guy who was talking about General Flynn, Michael Cohen, even though he's a douchebag, all those guys, when the tides turn on them, Trump turned on them too. When the tides turn on Jeffrey Epstein, Trump turned on them too. But right now, he can't really turn on Ghislaine Maxwell because she knows where the bodies are buried, right? Back to my original conversation, Candace Owens left the Daily Beast and she's growing. And the more she grows, the more it hurt Ben Shapiro. So he spends capital trying to take her down, and the more he tried to take her down, the more she grows. He tried to take down Megyn Kelly, and the more she grows, the less relevant he became. It's a different world out here. And all you guys who came up under Trump, you're going down with Trump, right? It's time to move on. And if you don't spot that fly on the wall, you're going to die with that fly on the wall. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, y'all. Well, like I said, their time is done. And then you look at some of them, how they have switched. Megan Kelly, Candace Owens, and Tucker Carlson, who apologized about a week ago for being a Trump supporter and propping Trump up, because he knows he is largely responsible, at least partly, for Donald Trump getting elected, because he was once cheering hard for Donald Trump. And Candace Owens was too. Candace Owens was big on the soapbox, especially for his first administration. And so was Megyn Kelly. And she did not stop liking Donald Trump until just recently. Candace Owens, too, Alex Jones. They all propped this man up. And now each and every one of them are trying to run from him. It's no running now. You already put Donald Trump in office. Many of you, not once, but twice. So it is what it is. But y'all look at this as proof that America is declining. And the people that had the dominant voices at one point in time, they are declining. That's all we're looking at. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And listen, I got my next live about how much we get accused of committing crimes. And then when these folks are wrong, there's really no consequences for them making an accusation, and in some cases, even ruining your reputation over a lie. So we'll get into that at 3:45. So y'all have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you then. Shalom, family.